Hello, children. Today we shall discuss one of the very beautiful stories of ninth textbook, Can't Climb Trees Anymore. Can't Climb Trees Anymore is written by Ruskin Bond. Ruskin Bond was born in Kasauli, Himachal Pradesh in 1934. He wrote a number of short stories, essays, novels, and many books for children. The Room on the Roofs was his first novel, written when he was 17. It received the John Lillis Wright Memorial Prize in 1957. In 1992, he received the Sahitya Akademi Award for his short story collections Our Trees Still Grow in Dehra, given by the Sahitya Akademi, India's National Academy of Literature. He was awarded the Padma Shri in 1999 for contribution to children's literature. Before entering into the lesson, children, let me give you the glossary. Turnstile, a mechanical gate consisting of revolving horizontal arms fixed at a vertical post, allowing only one person at a time to pass through. Dizzy, having a sensation of spinning around and losing one's balance. Hollyhock, a tall garden plant with large showy flowers. Disembodied of a sound, lacking any obvious physical source. Trapeze, a swing used by circus acrobats. Bougainvillea, an ornamental shrubby climbing plant widely cultivated in tropics with bright colored flowers. Budgerigar, a small bird belonging to the parrot family. Eddy, a circular movement of dust. Sprightliness, liveliness, and energy in action. Lissom, slim, graceful. Course, flow. Coming to the lesson, children. Can't climb trees anymore. He stood on the grass verge by the side of the road and looked over the garden wall at the house. It hadn't changed much. The old house, built with solid blocks of granite, wasn't altered at all. But there was a new outhouse and there was fewer trees. He was glad to see that the jackfruit tree still stood at the side of the building, casting its shade on the wall. He remembered his grandmother's saying, "A blessing rests on the house where the shadow of the tree falls," and so the present owner must also be receiving the tree's blessing. At the spot where he stood, there had once been a turnstile, and as a boy he would swing on it, going round and round until he was quite dizzy. Now the turnstile had gone, the opening walled up. Tall hollyhocks grew on the other side of the wall. Coming to the first paragraph of the lesson, children. Man came and stood on the grass verge by the side of the road, looked over the garden wall at the old house. It hadn't changed much. The old house was built with solid blocks of granite, wasn't changed at all, and there was nothing changed. All the trees grew taller, and a new outhouse was built in the open area, and he was very much happy to see the jackfruit grew bigger. And he remembered his grandmother's sayings, "A blessing rests on the house where the shadow of the tree falls." He also was very happy remembering his grandmother saying. He was happy that the present owner also might be receiving blessing from the children, blessing from the tree. Hence he was happy for the dwellers of the house, and he recollected the spot where he stood. There used to be a turnstile and right now the turnstile was taken away, and there a wall is been raised at the place of turnstile, and there tall hollyhocks grew on the other side of the wall. Then a disembodied voice is heard. What are you looking at? Moments later, a girl is seen uh, among the dark red hollyhocks staring at the man. She was only 12 or 13, slim and dark, with lively eyes and long black hair. I'm looking at the house, he said. Meanwhile, a girl faced the man, and girl asked the man what you are looking at, why you have come, and what you are looking at. She asked the man. I'm looking at the house, said the man. Then why do you want to buy it? Asked the girl. No. Is it your house? Asked the man. It's my father's, said the girl. And what does your father do? Asked the man. He's only a colonel. Only a colonel? Said the man. Well, he should have been a brigadier by now, the girl said. The man burst out laughing. Yes, I was thinking the same, as blessing of jackfruit tree is there on this house, and you people dwell in the house. Your father might have been a brigadier, not be a colonel. I'm also thinking of the same. He said the things to the girl, and it's not funny, she said. Even mummy says he should have been a brigadier. It was on the tip of his tongue to make a witty remark, but he did not want to give offense. They stood on either side of wall, appraising each other. The girl irritatedly said, why you are laughing? My mother even says all the time says he should have been a brigadier now. Why do you laugh? She said the narrator. The narrator wanted to offend it, but he did not offend it. And they stood on either side of the wall, appraising each other. Well, she said finally, if you don't want to buy the house, what are you looking at? I used to live here once, said the narrator. Oh, 25 years ago, as a boy, as a young man, and then my grandmother died, and we sold the house and went away. She was silent for a while, taking it in this information. Then she said, and you would like to buy it back now, but you don't have money. He did not look very prosperous. No, I wasn't thinking of buying it back. Wanted to see it again. That's all. How long have you lived in it? Only 3 years, she smiled. She had been eating a melon, and there was still juice in the corners of her mouth. Would you like to come in and look more closely? Wouldn't your parents mind? They have gone to the club. They won't mind. I'm allowed to bring my friends home, even elderly friends like me. How old are you? Oh, just middle aged, but feeling young today. And to prove it, he decided he had climbed over the wall. Instead of going round the gate, he got up on the wall, all right, but had to rest there, breathing heavily. Middle aged man on the flying trapeze, he muttered to himself. I'll help you, she said, and gave him her hand. He slithered down into a flower bed, shattering the stem of hollyhock. As they walked across the grass, he spotted a stone bench under a mango tree. It was the bench on which his grandmother used to rest when she was tired of pruning rose bushes and bougainvillea. The girl irritatedly asked, "What you are looking for? If at all you are not interested in buying the house, you don't stand here near house. You can leave now." As if she answered the man. The man answered then, "No, no, I used to live in this house when I was a kid. I spent my childhood. I spent in this house when I was a young man also. I'll- the, for that reason only I am here to look at the house and see the house and go," he said. For which the girl fell silent, and she asked, "Would you like to see the house nearly? Would you like to get into the house and see the house from inside?" she asked. "Would your parents mind me coming inside the house?" asked the man. The girl said, "No, no, they went to club. They won't mind if I bring my friends to my house. If I bring my old friends also, they don't mind," she said. And she also asked, "How old are you?" He is middle aged, and but he is feeling very younger today. Why? Because he is recollecting, as he is recollecting his childhood days, he grew very younger, and he is feeling very younger today. Feeling very happy, he just climbed the wall and wanted to get into the house onto the wall, not going round the gate. And he wanted to get down the wall, but he shattered all the hollyhocks while getting down the wall on the hollyhock bed. He took rest and breathed heavily, and he spotted the while walking across the grass, he spotted a stone bench under mango tree. It was the bench where his grandmother used to rest while pruning rose bushes and bougainvillea. "Let's just sit here," she said. "I don't want to go inside." She sat beside him on the bench. It was March. The mango tree was in the blossom. A sweet, rather heavy fragrance drenched the garden. They were silent for some time. The man closed his eyes and remembered other times, the music of a piano, the chimming of grandfather clock, the constant twitter of Budgerigar on the veranda, his grandfather's cranking up the old car. "I used to climb the jackfruit tree," he said, opening his eyes. "I didn't like jackfruit, though, do you?" "It's all right in pickles." "I suppose so." The tree was easy to climb. "I spent a lot of time in it." "Do you want to climb it again? My parents won't mind." "No, no, not after climbing the garden wall. Let's just sit here for a few minutes and talk." I mentioned the jackfruit tree because it was my favorite place. "Do you see that thick branch stretching out over the roof? Halfway along it, there's a small hollow in which I used to keep some of my treasures. What kind of treasures? Oh, nothing very valuable. Marbles, I had one, a book I wasn't supposed to read, a few old coins I had collected. Things came and went. I was a bit of a crow, collecting bright things and putting them away. There was my grandfather's iron cross. Well, not only my grandfather's exactly, because he was British and the Iron Cross was German decoration awarded for bravery during the war, the First World War, when my grandfather fought in France. He got it from a German soldier. Dead or alive? I beg your pardon. Oh, you mean the German? I never asked. Did I suppose? Or perhaps he was a prisoner. I never asked grandfather. Isn't that strange? And the Iron Cross, do you still have it? No, he said, looking her in the eyes. I left it in the jackfruit tree. You left it in the tree? Yes. I was so excited at the time, packing and saying goodbye to people and thinking about the ship I was going to sail on that I simply forgot all about it. She was silent, considering her fingers on her lips, her gaze fixed on the jackfruit tree. Then quietly she said, "It may still be there, in the hollow in the branch." "Yes," he said, "it's 25 years, but it may still be there, unless someone else found it. Would you like to go and look? I can't climb trees anymore." "If you can't, I will go and see. You just sit here and wait for me." She sprang up and ran across the grass, swift and sweet of limb. Soon she was in the jackfruit tree, crawling along the projecting branch. A warm wind brought little eddies of dust along the road. Summer was in the air. I have found it," she cried. "I have found something." And now, barefoot, she ran breathlessly towards him, in her outstretched hand a rusty old medal. He took it from her and turned it over his palms. "Is it the Iron Cross?" she asked eagerly. "Yes," he said, "this is it. Now I know why you came. You wanted to see it if it was still in the tree. You may be right. I'm not really sure why I came, but you can see the cross. You found it after all." "No, you keep it. It's yours. But it could have remained in the tree for another 25 years if you hadn't climbed up to look for it. But if you hadn't come back again one on the right day, at the right time, and with the right person," he said, getting up and placing the medal in her hand. "It wasn't the cross I came for, it was my youth," she said. She didn't understand that, but she walked with him to the gate and stood there gazing after him as he walked away where the road turned. He looked back and waved to her. Then he quickened his steps and moved briskly towards the bus stop. There was sprightliness in his steps, and something cried loudly in his heart. Dark dancing eyes, melon sweet lips, lissom limbs, the mango scented summer breeze made the blood course in his veins, and he forgot for a moment that he couldn't climb trees anymore. Coming to the explanation part, children, the man sat under the mango tree. He closed his eyes and he remembered all the things, the music of piano, the chimming of grandfather's clock, the constant twittering of the birds on veranda, his grandfather's cranking up of old car, and his climbing of jackfruit tree. And he used to climb the jackfruit tree where he used to hide all his belongings in the hole of jackfruit tree. And he asked the girl, had she seen that hole in the branch of that jackfruit tree? She said no, she hadn't seen that. So he asked the girl to see his favorite place, and he pointed the outstretched branch stretching over the roof, and pointed the small hollow in which he used to place all the treasures. The narrator compares himself to Crow as if he collects all the petty things and puts all of them in the hollow, including marbles, whatever he finds important. He places all the things in the hollow of the jackfruit tree. Along with the petty things, he also placed uh, an iron cross of his grandfather, not exactly his grandfather's. His grandfather was a British army person. Whether the medal was German Decoration Award for bravery during the war of First World War, when his grandfather fought in France, he got it from German soldier. And the girl asked, the medal is given for dead or alive soldier? She asked. Then the narrator says, I don't know exactly. This is the difference between you and me, he says to the little girl. Then the girl asked the narrator, oh, for the same reason you have come a long way to take that medal from the tree's hollow. Girl asked the narrator. Narrator says, no, not for the medal I've come to cherish my memories, he says. At the same time, she asks, if you want to take the medal, you can climb the tree and take the medal and all the belongings, whichever you kept in the hollow, you can climb up the tree. I can give you permission to climb the tree, she says. Narrator says, no, I can't climb the trees anymore, as it was 25 years back. I was young then. I could climb the trees at that time. Right now, I'm not in a position to climb the trees, and I can't climb trees anymore, he says. For which the girl says, if you can't, I will go and see. And you just sit here and wait for me. Then she springs, runs across the grass, swifts sweet of limb. Soon she climbs the jackfruit tree, crawls along the projecting branch, and then finds the medal. She cries, I found something, and barefootedly she comes down towards the narrator and shows him, is this the cross, is this the medal you were saying about? Then the narrator says, yes, this is the medal I was talking about. And the medal was old and it was rusty. He took it from her and turned it over his palm. It is the iron cross, she asked eagerly. Is this the iron cross? She asked eagerly. Yes, he said. This is the iron cross I was talking about. He says. Girl gives the iron cross to the narrator. Narrator returns the iron cross to the girl. If you couldn't climb the tree, it might have left there for another 25 years. What is the meaning in taking the cross from you? He says, and gives the cross to the girl. The girl says, if you haven't come back, it might have been there itself. No, you can have your medal and take this medal back along with you. The girl says. The narrator says, no, it is not the medal for which I am brought to this place, but it is my childhood. It those are my memories, the memories which drag me to this place, he said to the girl. My youth brought me here, he said. The child did not understand what he says, but she didn't understand that, but she walked with him to the gate and stood there seeing him. After the road turned, he looked back and waved at the girl. Then he quickened his steps and moved briskly towards the bus stop. There was sprightliness in his steps, and something cried loudly in his heart. That is, he became very active after coming to this place. He refreshed himself. The dark dancing eyes, melon sweet lips, lissom limbs, the mango scented summer breeze made the blood course in his veins. All the memories which refreshed and revived his soul and enthusiasm towards his attitude, and he was very much active. And for instance, for some time he forgot that he couldn't climb trees anymore. This is wonderful lesson written by Ruskin Bond. Children, do the exercise given below and go through the worksheet. Children, learn the worksheet.